So I saw a great video about how money is a frequency. I'm going to tag the creator in the caption. Check out her video on it. It's fantastic. What I'm really coming here to talk about is the fact that while money is a frequency, it is one that most of us can't access. And it's not your fault. The world literally is designed to prevent you from accessing this particular frequency. So I'm going to give you just a couple of thoughts on how to do so, how to at least open yourself up to being able to do so, based on how I did it. And yeah. And so why do I feel qualified to tell anyone anything about this? I spent a little over a year, about a year and a half, unhoused with a child under 5, um, living in, let's see, 3 different countries and driving across 10 states. So, now we're not. So there's that. So before anything, I think what I want everyone to understand is money is absolutely a frequency. It is a frequency that once you tap into it and once you can live in that vibration, for example, things do go very effortlessly for you. It is in the feminine type of energy. So money is a flowing type of exchange, a back and forth. Can be obtained, it can be conquered, it can be won, but it's much, much harder for people to hold on to money that way. And the thing is, as we know from all of our lovely work, if you're always chasing something, you're creating the conditions of chasing it. So that's why it's so hard. If you're working for money, if you're doing something for money, then you are chasing it away and you're creating the conditions that you're always going to have to work for it. It's never going to be able to come to you. Okay, so then, yeah, we get all that. It's still not, how do we stop working? How do we stop working? You don't, you can't, right? That's why the system is the way that it is. But let's start with the beginning. And all of this work, all of this chasing, all of this stuff is by design there to dysregulate our nervous system. Because if your nervous system is dysregulated, your body, your physical vessel cannot feel safe. It is a fight or flight response that is only activated when it is under threat of death. So if our environment is set up in a way to keep us living where we are always feeling like we are under threat of death, we are always feeling like we are surviving, then you cannot access a frequency or a vibration that is the opposite of survival. And I'm not just talking about like the work and the prices and the capitalism and things like that. I'm talking about the information, like I'm talking about the way social media is designed, the way our stores are designed, the lighting, the city planning, the television, everything. Everything, especially in the United States, is designed to keep your nervous system dysregulated. So then this becomes a different game now. We're not talking anymore about how do I get money? It's about how do I regulate my nervous system? Because once your nervous system is regulated, then you can access any frequency you want because your body no longer feels like it's going to die and have to do something about that. Okay, so number one, the very first thing you need to do is turn your attention to your physical environment, to your 3D world. If you do not feel safe and secure in your 3D environment because you actually aren't, meaning that you are actually struggling to pay rent, you are actually struggling to buy food, you are actually in a neighborhood, a place, a situation where your physical body is coming out of into danger, that is where your attention needs to be. You don't need to do any affirmations. You don't need to do rituals or give offerings to deities or anything, unless that helps you get through the day. You do whatever you need to do. But your attention needs to be on how do I physically create safety? Because your nervous system is going to perceive all of these things as a threat. If you are struggling to pay your rent, if you are struggling to find food, you will never feel safe. I'm sorry, but you won't. So attend to those things first. 2, then we talk about the like more common type of nervous system dysregulation, which is our relationships to other people and our relationships to the environment. This is where a lot of like neurodivergent folks, we live here because we are constantly feeling the need to mask, meaning that our body becomes unsafe for ourselves. Because if I'm presenting myself to the world as one way, I never get to be authentic, or authentic in only small amounts of time, then even my body is an unsafe place to be. So what you're going to be doing if your nervous system like overstimulation or your nervous system activation is coming from this is that's where you're coming up with your plans on how to change your environment. Do you need a new job? Do you need to quit your job? Do you need new friend groups? Do you need to cut ties with families? Do you need to go to therapy? What is it that you need so that the interpersonal interactions that you're dealing with from day to day are not triggering your fight or flight, freeze, fawn, flop response? Okay, so then once you've actually stabilized your environment, your actual physical environment, and your body, your actual body does not feel like it's being threatened constantly, that is when you can start to access the other pieces of this work, which you can definitely do all the way, but those first two pieces are super important and you can't get past them. There's no way to think, intellectualize, or even feel your way out of an actually physically unsafe environment. I'm just going to make that clear. Okay, so the next part is that's when you're doing your deep shadow work, you're working on changing your diet, you're working on adding your binaural beats, maybe supplements, whatever it is that's going to actually help your nervous system recover. So you're going to unlearn all of the patterns, behaviors, programs, things that your nervous system did for survival. And even though everything is like safe, you're still engaging in. And then once you have gone through this is where you can practice tapping into the frequency of money or abundance or flow, or I like to say the frequency of the mother. This is where you can sit back and recognize I am always taken care of. The universe always provides everything that I'm wanting, desiring. I am the creator. It's going to find me, it's going to come to me. And I know that when you hear things like that, it's like, yeah, right. It's not gonna find me. I like want to cry saying this because I remember like watching a lot of like spiritual TikTok and manifest TikTok and stuff like that when I was like sleeping in my car or sleeping on someone's couch, and I was like, I'm doing everything. What is wrong? Why can't I get out of this? And I just want to like say it's not you. You know, it's not you. It's the collective system that we live in. And but we do need more of us to get to the point where we do realize that we've been fed lies and that things are effortless and things can come to you easily. Money does just show up for me. Just like this creator. It absolutely just when I'm thinking, oh man, you know, like I can't spend this, or then I like kind of change my thinking like, yeah, I can. I want to. This feels good. This feels right. This feels pleasurable. I want to treat myself well. The money's always there. I have decorated a home. I work less. I invest in making myself feel good and my kid feel great. And the money is always there. Let me tell you, it is always there. But I had to go through those stabilization steps in order to access that frequency. So if you've stayed this long, yay, awesome. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let me know in the comments what you do or what your thoughts are about all that. And I know this was like a long video, but if you want me to go in depth anymore, I'm happy to make more.